Hello friends, this is Sunil Kumar Jadhav and you welcome back to my channel. In our day-to-day life, we are using the word distance and displacement as the synonyms of each other. Say for example, I have traveled about 100 kilometer distance or I have done 100 kilometer displacement. We are using both this term as the synonyms of each other, but in physics both the terms are completely different. And what is the meaning of these two terms that we'll understand with the perspective of physics. So see this video up till end, and if you like it then click on the like button. Distance and displacement. Let us try to understand what is the basic difference of distance and displacement in the physics. Let's see, I have taken one of the straight line motion. Let me say I have taken one of the number line. You can see, suppose the object start moving from point A. I have taken the distance that is taken to be 0 kilometer. Let me say all these are in kilometers. Say for example, this is kilometer, all these are in kilometers. The object start moving from point A and it reaches up to point B. After that, it takes U-turn and reach on point C. How much distance traveled by the object? While we are talking about the distance, I can say that distance traveled by this object is equal to the object travels on the straight line. It has started its motion from point A, reach up to point B. So first of all, I can say that distance is equal to AB plus, then it takes U-turn and from point B it reach up to point C. So I can say AB plus BC. So let us find out A to B. The distance is 14 kilometer plus, again it comes back from 14 to 7, means B to C the distance will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 kilometers. So I can say 14 plus 7. We know the total will be 21 kilometer. So how do we define the distance? Distance is the total path of, or we can say total length of path on which the object travel. I can say total length of the path on which the object traveled. So the distance traveled by this object is 21 kilometer. Now let us see what is displacement. Displacement means what? In the case of displacement, we need not to see on which path it has been traveled. We need not to see that it has been traveled from point A to B and ultimately reach on point C. So in the case of displacement, we need to see only the final position and the initial position. I can say this is final position, and you know it has been started it traveling from point A. So I can say this is initial position. So we need to take the difference between, we can say difference between final position minus initial position. So in that case, we can say that what is the final position of the object, that is point C. It is at 7 and initial position it was on 0 kilometer. So 7 minus 0 is equal to 7 kilometer. So displacement, in the case of displacement, we need not to see the entire length of the path on which the object is traveled, but we have to focus on what is the final position and what is the initial position. The difference between them is considered as the displacement. So this is the basic difference between distance and displacement. Now another definition that we can say, in distance we have taken the entire length of the path, while here we have taken the final position minus initial position. So in the case of distance, we need not to see the direction, that it is moving from here to this and then it takes the U-turn and reach over here. We do not bother about the direction. But while we are talking about displacement, we have to see about its direction also, in which direction the object is traveled. That is also important in the case of displacement. So as per the physics, we can say that distance is a scalar quantity and displacement is a vector quantity. What is the basic difference between scalar and vector? Then we can say that those quantity which require only magnitude for its complete description is called as the scalar quantity. It means it does not require direction, only magnitude means only value. While displacement, that means the vector quantity, we can define the vector quantity in such a way that vector quantity is such a quantity which require magnitude as well as direction both for its full description is known as the vector quantity. So here we can say that distance is a scalar quantity while displacement is a vector quantity in which direction it has moved. We'll see another example for clarification of the same. Let's come to this figure. You can see this is a right angle triangle PQR. Let me say the object start traveling from point P. It traveled 4 kilometers in this direction, that is in the north direction. Then it takes right turn and from Q to R it has been traveled about 3 kilometers. Let me say the object start moving from point P, reach at point Q after traveling 4 kilometers. Then it has taken a right turn at the 90-degree angle and it reached from point Q to point R. Now if we want to find out the distance traveled by the object is equal to what? As we say, the total length of the path along with the object move. So we can say this is 4, or I can say PQ plus QR. So we should say that the total length of the path will be equal to PQ is 4 kilometers plus QR is 3 kilometers. So total distance traveled by the object is 7 kilometers. Now if we are talking about a displacement, now we know that displacement require the initial position, and the final position. Now you can see the initial position is point P and finally it reach at point R. Now we need to take a straight line joining them. This would be the displacement. Now as this is a right angle triangle, we know that we should apply Pythagoras theorem. So as per the Pythagoras theorem, we can say that PR square is equal to PQ square plus QR square. Let us keep the values. That PQ square, PQ means what? It is 4. So it is 4 square plus QR is 3. So it is 3 square. 4 square 16. 3 square 9. Total is 25. That is PR square is equal to 25. Hence PR is equal to 5. So how much displacement has been done by the object? That is final position minus initial position, and we saw that this PR. So PR is equal to 5 kilometers. So this is how we should understand about the basic difference between distance and displacement in the physics, as one is the scalar quantity, that distance is a scalar quantity while displacement is a vector quantity. I hope it is clear now.